Greetings, friends. I trust you're doing well. I trust you're keeping safe. Thanks a lot for joining me today in yet another episode. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Now, have you ever thought about forgiveness as an aspect of self care? I was just reflecting about, the burdens we carry around. Someone has offended you, someone hurt you, or you went through some things in the past, or even currently, and you're holding on to some people in your heart, and you're walking around with a heavy heart. What happens is that you're hurting yourself more. When you choose not to forgive others, then you're actually doing injustice to yourself because you're the one who's hurting, you're the one who's, struggling with that. And I just wanted to reflect about what happens when you're walking around with a heavy heart. And you've probably experienced this. One, you lose sight of important things in your life because now you've closed everything out and you're narrowing down to that heart or that heaviness that you're carrying as a result of, whatever it is. So you lose sight of important things, probably events. If you're working, you lose sight of other important development, professional development stuff that you could be working on because you've decided, and I'm really using that word decided because at the end of the day, the choice to forgive or not is really up to you. So when you decide to hold on to a heart and your heart is really burdened because you don't want to let go, then you have made that choice. Is it really worth it? Is it helping you? Something else, when you choose to just hold on, to the burdens and the unforgiveness, you miss out on opportunities for growth for yourself. You lose out on opportunities to advance things that could actually benefit you. And come to think about it, let's take, for example, a friend has really hurt you and you're really holding on to that hurt. So, meanwhile, they're probably moving on with their lives. And for you, now you are still. You're not making progress. Maybe you had plans for your family, you had plans for your own professional growth, you had opportunities, maybe trainings, and so much more. But you're unable to tap into these opportunities because you're holding on to hurt. So, my beautiful ladies, today I just want us to reflect on forgiveness as a critical aspect of self care. Think about forgiveness as something that you're doing for you, and let us get into that habit of just letting go, learning to forgive and letting go, so that we can thrive, so that we can be free, so that we can have that peace that we need for us to be elevated, for us to live the kind of lives that we hope to achieve. You cannot be able to do all that and achieve so much more if you're holding on to the past, if you're holding on to hurts. So, what can we do to actually help us, like relieve the burdens that we are walking around with? One, like I've just mentioned, get into the habit every day. Let's say at the end of every day, just scan through your day and ask yourself, what burden am I carrying today and can I let it go? Two, my beautiful lady, I want you to remember some things are not worth it. I don't know if you've had experiences where you were hurt, you held on to a hurt so much, and years later, weeks later, when you reflect back, you ask yourself, was it really worth it? So I want you to remember it is not worth it at all to hold on to unforgiveness. Three, ask yourself, the burden that you're walking around with, is there something you can do about it? If there is something you can do about it to change the situation, then get on with it. Do what you need to do to address the issue. If it's totally outside your control, then, like I said in my first point, then you just let go, because if there's nothing you can do about it, why are you carrying it around with so much heaviness? And then finally, my beautiful lady, just learn to talk to God about the struggles, about the challenges that you're facing. Sometimes it just takes talking to God about this and He will give you the peace that you're looking for. He will give you wisdom. Ask God to give you insight to deal with some of these burdens. And I really just want to appreciate that I know some things are not that simple. But you know what? At the end of the day, you have to take care of yourself, take care of your heart, and just see what you can do. If you can't do anything about it, ask God to give you the grace to let go. So, as we set about our day to day, I want us to just remember that forgiveness is a critical aspect of our own self care. And so, we should not walk around feeling so burdened. Remember, you have control and you can make that choice today. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you a beautiful day ahead. God bless you.